So we're going to start with Chris Sutton. Go on, Chicago. YAP in the house. So Chris is program director of a program called Choose to Change. And you guys heard a little bit about that from Jeff a little earlier. Choose to Change really adapts the traditional YAP model to keep kids from getting involved in violence, and really more particularly to keep them away from gun violence. Chris is a former small business owner. I don't know if you guys know that he had a car wash for a while. And we welcomed him at YAP about 10 years ago, right? About 10 years ago. And he was inspired by someone in his youth who really served as his mentor, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that. Chris is a mass communications graduate of Grambling State University. So let's welcome Chris.
Good evening, everyone. Can everybody say, no love, no peace? No love, no peace. That's the kind of understanding that it takes to achieve the kind of relationship building that has allowed my program to be successful. I have a relentless approach to this work that I got largely from a guy by the name of Charles Hawkins. I don't even know if Charles Hawkins is still alive. Charles Hawkins was, my Aunt Rose is my mother's baby sister, and she was vibrant and vivacious in her youth. She dated a lot, and she would always require any gentleman that was looking to court her to take my cousin and I to different places. So that was my first introduction to an advocate. I didn't know back then, but he took us everywhere. Saw my first Bears game, Bulls game. I was a Cub Scout. Where I grew up, you know, that was unheard of. But I was a Cub Scout, went camping, fishing. We did all those things. And I lived in the ghetto. And, you know, I had a secret life, literally. I owe, I always get choked up when I do this, but so Charles Hawkins didn't have a work plan or a model. He just loved. And that's what it takes. That's what the kids are missing. It's not rocket science. We can bedazzle it as much as we want to make something unique in our own, but it's just love. I've done this quite a few times, and people always want to know what's the secret sauce of YAP. And it's just love, plain and simple. Unconditional doormat kind of love. Like, I know I can wipe my feet off on it, and it's still going to be there when I come back. I mean, and that's really what we do. Had a single parent mom. Father was in and out of jail. My father actually died in jail a couple years ago. He had a life sentence. So it's very important to me. I went without a lot. Had a lot of my mom did what she could to make sure I had means in terms of material necessities, but the interaction that I was looking for from a parent, the acknowledgement that I was looking for, didn't know that I needed it. But when my father passed, I had a breakdown. I was in Harper High School in Chicago. I worked very closely with the school counselor there, and she took me for a walk on the lakefront so I could get it out. And I literally cried, like, I don't know how long, but I built up this wall and just said I was going to be successful in spite of whatever my dad didn't do. But that wasn't enough. And so this work allows me to heal. Choose to Change is a hybrid program. It's part intense mentoring, and part cognitive behavioral therapy. And it allows me to heal in ways like you all wouldn't imagine. And so the CBT component is invaluable. It's something that we've been missing for a long time. Young people have been exposed to circumstances that, and I'm a pretty resilient guy, but I would seriously have to do some soul searching to see if I could maintain my well-being, my faculties, given the circumstances that these young people are dealing with today. Every day that I get up and put my feet on the floor, I know that I have purpose. That's invaluable. Every day I have an opportunity to change a life. I gave up my business to do this work. Walk the talk. A pair of lips can say anything. Anything. Just walk the talk. Show the kids that you love them. It'll come back ways you wouldn't imagine. It's long overdue. I don't want to be a professional bullshit artist, excuse my language. It's very easy for me to stand in front of people and give you a synopsis of who I am and the kind of work that I do, because it's very sincere. I'm not good with numbers and all that stuff. I mean, that's cool, but I put boot to pavement and get out here and make things happen. A great component of our work, Kelly did a slide. We expose kids to a lot of things that they wouldn't otherwise get an opportunity to enjoy. So I'm trying to replicate what Charles Hawkins did for me, just by giving kids a point of reference. There were times when I felt trapped by my neighborhood. I knew that things that I experienced weren't for me, and I wanted something different. And he gave me that avenue he gave me the courage to get out and try different things. I didn't have to succumb to what the neighborhood offered me. What I was able to succumb to is giving these kids 110% of me. And every time that I see a kid that graduated from YAP programs and they're doing well, man, it's like, man, I don't have to duck and hide like, man, we didn't do right by that kid. It's a prideful moment, you know, when kids say, man, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I would have been. You were like an uncle to me. Some kids say you were like a father to me. It's the biggest compliment. And I want everybody in this room just to challenge themselves to be bigger. Just be bigger. Just take a self-assessment right now. Just do a little more. Just do a lot. It's a lot of kids in need of love. You know what I'm saying? It's more than enough to fill this room. So it's my challenge to you all. Thank you for your time.